If people knew that the mechanism was not known of these drugs, that they could cause, if there's a real chance for them to get a homicidal tendency or even suicide, if you take the drug, there's a chance you may want to kill yourself.
And I could repeat probably a dozen other examples of significant self-inflicted harm or significant violence to others in patients who had never had that experience in their adult life.
Des patients comme Donald Shell, un grand-père venant du Wyoming.
Donald Shell was a man in his 60s, a gentleman, a family man, a funny man. He had had periodic episodes of depression, but never any real serious mental health issues, and became depressed, had a down period, went to a general practitioner and was given Paxil. 2 days later, he shot his wife, his daughter, his 9-month-old granddaughter, and then himself. The first question the jury was asked, very telling question, can Paxil cause some people to commit homicide and or suicide? To which they answered yes.
Donald Shell ne prenait du Paxil que depuis quelques jours avant d'avoir cette réaction meurtrière suite à la prise du médicament. Mais on a aussi prouvé qu'un emploi prolongé de psychotropes crée des dommages irréversibles, une situation dramatique dont les psychiatres ne font pas cas.
In the long run, the side effects may actually be worse than the original condition.
I don't think the average patient has any idea that the long-term use of this drug is now associated with very serious diseases, with diabetes, with kidney failure, with tardive dyskinesia, a movement disorder that's very serious and permanent and irreversible.
You can be affected by these drugs in any part of your body, your brain, your heart, your kidneys.
That's why people die early very often, because they are prescribed things and the long-term effects are, in some cases, the death of the individual.
Pour le profit, les psychiatres prescrivent plusieurs psychotropes, les uns remédiant aux effets des autres, créant ainsi encore plus de dommages.
If you have drugs that create side effects, that gives you a ready market for more drugs to cure the side effects. It seems to me that it's a self-propagating system.
And what ends up happening is that each one of those new drugs that's added into the scenario brings on another symptom for which there's another drug, for which there's another symptom, for which there's another drug.
And it just snowballs into a vicious circle of one drug causing the need for another drug.
Sometimes people come and they're on such a cocktail of so many different drugs for so many different things.
It's rare now that I see a senior citizen that is on less than 5 or 6 drugs at one time. Some 12, 15.
One will lead to the next, and they're all toxic. This is how the game is played.
Alors que l'activité lucrative des psychiatres qui consiste à prescrire des psychotropes prend de plus en plus d'expansion au cœur de la société, les enfants sont désormais leur dernière et plus tragique victime.
Rebecca Riley, 2.5 years old, they diagnosed her with bipolar disorder and ADHD. They had her on an antipsychotic, they had her on a heart drug, they say, for ADHD, and they had her on an anti-seizure. And then one other one for side effects. 4 drugs at 2.5 years old. She can't even zip up her own pants. She's like a little rag doll. The school nurse, 2 teachers, the principal, the social worker, all said they never seen any behavior in this little 4-year-old girl that would warrant these kind of medications. And all specifically called this doctor and said, please take her off these. She died at a little over 4 years old. This little girl that didn't have a chance, and the psychiatrist just let her.
Au lieu d'être jugé et d'encourir une peine de prison, le docteur Kayoko Kifuji, psychiatre de Rebecca Riley, n'a même pas perdu sa licence. Comment se fait-il que les psychiatres s'en tirent à si bon compte? La réponse se trouve dans le concept légal connu sous le nom de normes en matière de soins.
The standard of care is based on what do other doctors do? What would a reasonable physician do in this situation? And the reality is that what most physicians do is prescribe medications.
As long as they've done their paperwork properly and documented that this child had the symptoms that led them to this conclusion, they appear to be completely protected from any kind of a lawsuit as a result.
The standard of care is what allows doctors to seriously injure or even kill a patient with total impunity.
So the standard of care now has been implemented to where you can get away with, if you're a medical doctor, psychiatrist, you can get away with murder.
Et le nombre de décès continue à augmenter. Les psychotropes tuent environ 42 000 personnes par an.
The cost to society is very real and very devastating, but the medicine they're practicing isn't real. It's a hoax.
Profit always comes before patient safety, and they take a very short-sighted view. It's all about how can we make money today, not what price are we going to pay tomorrow.
The trail of destruction that a psychiatrist leaves in his path is of no concern to that guy. It's all about money.
C'est une affaire de gros sous. La psychiatrie représente maintenant une industrie de plus de 300 milliards de dollars et ne guérit personne. Mais si les psychiatres promettent de plus en plus de nouveaux traitements, le nombre de leurs victimes, malades, blessés ou décédés, ne cesse d'augmenter. Et les gens, tout comme vous, se retrouvent sans défense et forcés de se débrouiller tout seuls.